everybody, and welcome to this return of the What If Roundtable. And I thank you all for joining us. We're going to be going relatively short this time because last week, basically, I got the news that my father passed away, and it was a bit of a sudden shock. I'd only seen him like the day before, so this week we've mainly been like I was still on a holiday. And yet also dealing with kind of administration, like preparing for stuff. And yeah, so it's been that came as a shock, but in a way not so much. But I'm going to like do a public post in detail in the fullness of time. But yeah, we'll go live for 15 minutes at least, and we'll see how it goes. But I do appreciate you all for being here, and we'll try and make the best of it. And we are going to be doing so. And besides, my dad was very much like very proud of what I was doing, so he would be very keen for me to just carry on. So no, don't worry about me, just carry on with what you're doing. So I'm in the spirit of my dad. I'm going to do that. So I'm gonna keep doing what he liked me doing. And as of course, I am joined by my pal Havrock.
Hello, I'm here to support.
And Sophie is not here today. Basically, she's being a bit under the weather and didn't get that much sleep, so she'll be back for Thursday. So just so you know,
unless she suddenly surprisingly joins us, but it's a slim chance.
If
but
it's a case of that is until Sophie shows up.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But we're gonna do the cutoff at 15 minutes. So basically, if we want to get them in, we shall do them. You got about maybe 13 minutes or so. Anyway, for those of you who are brand new to this stream, first of all, welcome, and I'm sorry that you got the heavy news and all that stuff, but if you would like to help support the channel and get some of your questions in for What Ifs, you can leave a super chat, and we read them, and Havrock and the mods, we all do pay attention about what's going on, just so you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's alright, Red Dragon. It's going to be relatively short this time around. But anyway. Okay, so we'll start off with Papa Podo. What if you did a side story about the Ginyu What If Bardock taking place after he was saved by Tora and Mira? You can even include Time Patrol Parda. Well, I suppose if we were going like full game meta, and Parda was in Xenoverse in terms of that, it's something like, it's a bit of a surprise, certainly. But yeah, essentially it's something that was really, really good. And I feel like we could go full ham with this, and if we had Parda in lovable Saiyan with a lovable butt, I definitely would say that'd be something good. And to include Tora and Mira, have Ginyu in there, why not? I'm pretty sure that if Bardock or the Masked Saiyan, towed the line, they'd be like the Masked
maybe
Ginyu.
Switch the roles, Masked Saiyan. Ginyu as the Masked Saiyan. That would be much more interesting. Also, like we love Tora and Mira so much, sarcasm, but hey, they are connected to Demigra, who is kind of cool. I mean, someday maybe, if you guys want to see, us doing some Xenoverse What If shenanigans, why not?
No, if we want to go full ham, it doesn't have to be an April Fool thing. We can easily do that. Alright, Mean Crank is up next for the What If Bulma trained like Goku thing. Could Bulma and Jiro have an arms race, both aiming to one-up the other? Spy bugs, androids, mechs, and time travel galore? I'm pretty sure that we could easily do that, because I feel like having that kind of thing and that whole technical arms race was actually a nice little subplot. So that means, the Red Ribbon Army have not just been sitting on their laurels with typical meta stuff.
I think there might be issue with that because Jiro is taller, therefore he has longer arms than Bulma.
True.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I see what you did there. I definitely see what you did there. Okay, Papa Podo. What if you were as into all the different Yu-Gi-Oh animes as you were into DD animes? Would you be doing Yu-Gi-Oh What Ifs?
Sorry. Sorry, and you can probably hear the doggo sound.
Sorry about that, everybody. Just had to check something. But basically, would I be doing Yu-Gi-Oh What Ifs? I don't know. There's so much Yu-Gi-Oh, I would really kind of fall behind with it. But I feel like if I could catch up with all that stuff, I feel like it would something I would do. But again, with all of these things, you kind of need to like know a lot about it, and I would feel uncomfortable knowing something I didn't only knew half the knowledge of something like that.
And you cannot beat Martin and X on that. So.
No, yeah. Definitely. All right.
Oh, Alpha.
Yeah. There's Alpha in the background. She's been sleeping most of the day, so now she's turning into a little bit of a beast. This is a time when she has a witching hour. Firebrand128. What if Goku and Chi-Chi had each other's personalities? Chi-Chi's the laid-back big eater who's big into training, and Goku's the serious one who has a job and a determination to get Gohan educated. It'd be a very interesting role reversal, and it would also be something that's actually quite compelling. You know, you have the female martial artist who has the big appetite, and like Goku's the stoic Saiyan. He basically would become Vegeta. If Goku had the serious determination like Chi-Chi, he would basically be Vegeta. So that'd be a bit of an interesting twist.
I like that idea.
I do like that idea. Well let's make a note of it for like that. That could be like for a fun little twisty thing.
Yeah.
Mean Crank. What if word of the Cell games got out to Champa and he wanted to pit some of his own fighters against Cell? Well, I mean, I feel like in that situation, Botamo, Vegeta, and Frost might lose to Cell. I feel like Frost would. Vegeta probably would. But it'd be close. And
Botamo is a beast.
Botamo is a beast, but I feel like with Goku smart, I feel like Cell would figure out the whole, his shtick of just tossing him out of the ring. And with Vegeta, and with Cell's acerbic personality, he would have come up with a quip for Vegeta, which would have made the fight end really quickly.
But if he had hit play sound for Cell.
Yeah, I would play the sound for Cell.
Hit would found a way to like eliminate his nucleus. Like he would go straight for the nucleus.
Yeah.
And done.
Oh, absolutely done. Lickety split. Okay, Papa Podo. What if Dragon Ball was a high school anime? Like all the same elements in a similar plot, just altered to benefit an anime taking place at high school. I'm sure there's been like a fanfic to do with that.
Yeah.
In the fullness of time, but hey, we had that. It's called Dragon Ball Evolution. Goku was at high school. Chi-Chi was in there. You gotta have the high school romance. We got that. It's Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm just gonna play the sound. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's move on from that. Papa Podo, can you do the soup sauce? Get us Goku ready. Hey Raditz, what are you doing? I can't come. I'm buying clothes. It's like, where are you buying clothes? Well, I mean, I'm saying I'm at soup. What do you mean you at soup? I'm at soup, meaning I'm at the soup. It's like, what store are you in? I'm at the soup store. It's like, I am at the soup store, Kakarot. Being that, why are you buying your clothes at the soup store? It's like, you clearly do not understand, Kakarot, because I have the need for clothes. But, oh man, that sketch. Codeman is God tier, Ethan, absolutely. Papa Podo. Inspired by the latest Frieza episode, Trunks tries to slash at 18. 18 catches it easily. Trunks extremely dramatically. Nani? Oh, yeah. I mean, I had to include that in part 9, basically, because I feel like Trunks wasn't really doing anything in that situation. And I feel like, well, what would he be doing? Oh, yes. He'd be messy. He'd be screwing it up. Because that's what Trunks does. So
he would be doing that using his sword, because that boy
sure loves his swords. Yeah, and yeah, basically, it's definitely something he would do. And Papa, thank you very much for the extra thing about thank you very much for your kind words. Darth Samuel. What if Bardock was King Vegeta's brother? Sorry to hear about your father. Hope you're doing well. Oh, thanks, Darth. If Bardock was King Vegeta's brother, the best way and the most plausible way to do it is that he was a half brother. Like, Bardock was like tossed aside as like an illegitimate child. And yeah, with like kind of a low, kind of like a commoner low class female. Like Bikini. Like, well, not Bardock. Sorry, but the mother of Bardock. But I feel like that would be an interesting twist. You think? Like,
yeah. I think that with the genome, like it's never said that they aren't exactly like I feel that like the royal family may care only for the strongest child, and like the rest just get,
cast aside.
And they are not really considered royalty. That's how I feel. We have a discussion coming up that kind of discusses this whole topic. What we think, how the royalty of the Saiyans really works, based on the information we have.
Yeah.
From the recent canon sources.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we like to try and decipher that kind of stuff. Heartless Fang, what if Roshi defeated Oozaru without destroying the moon and keeping Goku's tail? What if Goku had to learn control? Also condolences. Thanks, Heartless Fang. But if Roshi defeated Oozaru without destroying the moon and keeping Goku's tail, the only way he could probably do it is to basically just find a way to incapacitate the monkey. Or probably either coming up with some kind of martial arts way of doing it, or coming up with some kind of lullaby that put the monkey
his lullaby, hypnotizing thing. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't use that.
Yeah, if he came up with a lullaby to send Goku to sleep. And basically then just kept, said to Goku, yeah, young man, you gotta make sure you got yourself a pair of sunglasses. And that would be the moment he gives Goku his glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I think it worked on Ganos. I think Ganos surely is stronger than Oozaru. Ganos, I think he's a pretty much at least Ginyu Force level of power, if not stronger.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Owen McPherson, what if tapping was canon? Also, so sorry about your dad. Know what it's like to lose a father figure. I lost my grandpa a few years ago. Oh, thanks, Owen. Tapping was canon. Don't know what that means, Owen.
Do you mean Tapion, Owen?
Oh, Tapion, I think maybe. Tapion was canon. That would immediately explain why Trunks has a sword. It's a very, very roundabout way, but it's better than just, future Trunks has a sword. Why does he have a sword? We have no idea. So, yeah, he just has a sword. So if Tapion did exist, they adapted it in a way, then that'd be something, really. Manifesto.
I mean, to be quite honest, before we get to the the Tapion movie isn't that hard to incorporate into the canon, really.
No, not at all. Because it takes place.
It's one of the easier movies to put in the canon, really, and it would canonize the Dragon Fist.
Absolutely, and nothing wrong with that. Manifesto, thank you very much for your thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much, mate. Dekailand? Horenzo, the son of Broly, movie 8. Because of course Broly has a son. I mean, it just stands to reason, really. Dark Aria, 668. Do you think you would ever do what ifs where you do crossover what ifs, where you start over what ifs and combine two of them to see how they play out? Probably maybe when some of the older ones have actually come about and we could do a video about how you could possibly combine the two. But we kind of want to save that for What Infinity when we reboot it.
Yep.
And we can combine the Nappa and the Raditz what ifs together. So we do want to have some plans for that. A Manifesto, hey, I've sent you the cell-form descriptions in your email mailbag. I have seen them and I will give them a read when I do my admin stuff at the beginning of next week. But I am letting you know I have seen them and I will give them a read. So there you go. Heartless Fang, what if an extremely goofy movie, except with Goku being goofy and Gohan or Goten being Max in college? I can see that happening. Basically, yeah. Goku, Gohan, that movie is absolutely perfect to kind of describe their relationship when they're younger.
Extremely Goku movie or extremely Gohan movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, they both have a conference together.
Oh, of course. And Goku actually can understand and fully appreciate them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anyway, guys, just gonna let you know that the super chats for now are now closed. I know it's been really quick, but I have to go and do some quick stuff and take Philly out. I need to go go and help her out with something. So we're just gonna keep this short, but we will be back again on Thursday. So if you do have any burning questions, then yeah, you can save it for then. Okay. I know this was relatively quick, but I felt like we should do something, just something to kind of keep it going. 28 days later. Okay. What if Future Trunks accidentally went to GT instead of Super? Well, if Future Trunks went to that, I'm gonna have to play the sound for him, basically, because he wouldn't really contribute that much. Maybe moral support.
Yeah. Hey, why am I wearing those stupid shorts?
Ascot, what am I in, Scooby-Doo? all that stuff. So I feel like
Oh
it'd be a
my
nice
gosh,
little
can
side
you
plot.
imagine GT reimagined as a Scooby-Doo type of story?
Oh yeah, basically Trunks doing, okay gang, split up and look for clues. And that stuff. I can imagine that. Red Dragon Force 2 says on behalf of Pancakes, what if Goku went full power Super Saiyan versus Vegeta? Well, the thing was, though, is that by the time you got to the Cell games, Vegeta was also at full power Super Saiyan. So, it would actually still be pretty even. Unless you're talking about, like, Vegeta when, at the start of the Android Saga, then...
He would be toast. I mean, Goku wouldn't kill him, but, like...
Yeah, but he would certainly be down.
He would break poor Vegeta's mind even more. But that might end up, you know, at the end of the day, end up with Vegeta holding even a bigger grudge and doing something even stupider during the Cell Saga.
Yup, I would definitely say so about that. Red Dragon Force 2 asks, what if Goku or Gohan had a William Wallace moment? Oh, well, basically ended up being really defiant and stuff. Oh, by the way, Grant Emil saying that they're going to be going out to sea for 6 months, but we really wish you the best of luck on your deployment, Grant. Hope you stay safe, and we will have plenty of content for you for when you get back. But I just want to just acknowledge that, just so you know.
Salute to you, mate.
Pancake might have meant false Super Saiyan.
False Super Saiyan, yeah.
Oh, okay, and Red Dragon confirmed that. Sorry about that. But basically, if that were the case, then Saiyan Saga Vegeta false Super Saiyan, he still would have been toast.
Yep.
It would still have been toast. Like, it would have still been a bigger multiplier than what Oozaru could have done. But yeah. But in terms of the William Wallace moment, it would still be like, basically, I would say, it would just have that defining moment that, that against Frieza, like, basically...
I mean, Bardock was basically doing William Wallace, basically. So something like that.
Yeah, you just get a variation of that, really.
I mean, it would require Frieza to win at Namek, for example, and blowing him up, and then Trunks having to deal with Frieza.
Yeah, no, of course. Heartless Fang, what if Gohan was like Dexter from Dexter's Lab? Goku is, of course, Didi, based on Gohan having a Slavic accent last week. So basically, I'm going to say, oh, what does this button do? Dad, please don't. Dad, no, please do not touch my greatest creation. It's like, it's a muffin button. There you go. Just nice little skip for you. At last, my greatest technique completed. It's like, I still don't know why he has an accent like that. He lives in America. I don't get it.
And salute the Mandark.
Yeah.
Excellent. Haha. Excellent. Ha ha
ha. Gorilla64. What if Ginyu kept Goku's body and ended up taking his place? This would have had to take place, basically, nobody would have known it happening. And, like, Goku's kind of, like, getting to that place where, Ginyu realizes that I can actually get away from Frieza and actually start a new life if I actually took itself seriously. So, basically, Ginyu's perception would have to be much higher, so that means he can actually fully understand Goku's body much quicker. So, if he had that, then I can imagine him actually doing a lot of damage. And actually probably contributing. And him actually probably absorbing himself into a new lifestyle. So I think he would actually prosper in some way.
Yeah.
Death by Monkey. What if Tien Shinhan could keep up in power level? If he could keep up in power level like with the Saiyans, he'd be very useful. He'd be a very serious guy. But I feel like he'd be basically copying Trunks, or he'd be copying Vegeta in terms of being the stoic one. So I feel like it would have just been doubling up, but he would certainly have been like a very worthy main rep for the human contingent of the Dragon team. Certainly would have been. Red Dragon Force 2. What if the 7 deadly sins or 10 commandments fought in the Tournament of Power? Magic working differently than Ki. Melodious couldn't fully counter the Ki attacks. I don't really know. I've not really watched 7 Deadly Sins, to be honest, but I feel like he'd have a different dynamic. So I feel like it, it could certainly work with all the different powers that you get in the Tournament of Power. So I don't know. It would certainly be more interesting than just straight up just, oh, I punch people. Oh, here's a key attack. You can actually have a different... That's the thing I will give the Tournament of Power credit. The amount of powers that they came up with for all these different characters is incredible. They did that. They managed to make it work. So credit where credit's due.
I just wish that they would, give some of the more interesting characters some more time. That's the biggest problem.
Yes, no, definitely. The Stinger. What if Goku had Super Saiyan like in Super Saiyan like Dragon Ball Super Broly? So basically, if he had the Wrathful thing and was uncontrollable, then I'd have to play the sound for everybody else. Because if he basically had that level of intensity, then I must admit, like that would have been interesting to handle. But I think Grandpa Gohan would have been enough to keep him in control. Like he wouldn't have needed a collar or anything like that. Manifesto. Is Frost... no, sorry. Next one is Manifesto. Yeah, just for last, what if Bulma summoned Shenron and wished to be curvier, not just younger, and it went wrong? Shenron, they're too big, lol. Oh, I think Fun Sexy DB did a skit about that. I don't know, I kept seeing it like retweeted like all the time, so I felt like she did one of those. But I feel like that would be a little bit of hijinks. Oh no. Because hey, if she can wish for being younger, I'm sure that could have happened in some way if Dragon Ball was a bit more of an ecchi. In some way. Yeah, there goes the hijinks. I'm pretty sure that's happened. Minion of the East. What if Upa trained like Goku? Then you would have had the strongest Native American that you would have ever seen. I'm guessing that right. Yeah, Upa, the son of Bora. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He'd have been the strongest Native American you'd have ever seen. So, basically, Power Stone would have been even more of a plagiarizing. But, yeah. So I feel like that would be the case. So basically, it would just be an interesting thing. And I feel like it would be a nice representation.
We definitely will include Upa in the Dragon Team in one of the early DB rewrites. In some of the stories, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, Papa Podo. Also, notice you used my Krillin Dio joke and my even Yamcha joke in a couple of your videos recently. Which ones do you mean exactly, Podo? I mean, Krillin and Dio? I don't think the Krillin one with Vegeta, I don't think that was me intentionally doing that. And like, and Yamcha and the Frieza turn good thing. Basically, it was like, that was just feel like, that would be some kind of cool little nod that he would have. Because, like, he would certainly be stepping up in terms of, like, oh, Podo, I reject my humanity, Goku. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's it, Podo. Yeah, I must have subconsciously used it, but Podo, I think we were all thinking that. Red Dragon Force 2. What if the Gem Empire was in Universe 6, but a failed timeline where they collapsed, and Universe 6 was a fatality of the fallout? I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a gem contingent on Earth, because basically what we know from Universe 6 is that Earth basically tore itself apart and kind of like scorched itself to death. So it basically ended up being like that, to be honest. It's like, I feel like that could have easily happened. Universe 6 is just one of the other casualties. And there you go. Could be one of those things to further differentiate Universe 6 from Universe 7. Alright, Manifesto. Frost had a cool, like, equivalent. Older brother in Universe 6. So terrifying and powerful and evil, unlike Frost. I would call him Zickle. Like Icicle. Ah.
I would make Frost's brother a businessman. Like he would be like that, terrifying, successful businessman.
Way too smart. You think you can't outsmart him? Like,
yeah.
Because Frost was a con artist, so you gotta like think, well, where did he have a brother that inspired him to do it? Oh, Zickle. There you go. And Manifesto goes like sickle weapon, icicle. Oh yeah, no, I get you. It's a good name. I like that name. Liquid Nitrogen 7. What if Goku was raised by Cooler? If Goku was raised by Cooler, Cooler would at first dismiss Goku because his power level is relatively low, but he would probably recognize the potential of Baby Kakarot. So I feel like he would definitely. He would not
make him an asset for the Armored Squadron, I guess. Like making a minion and like have him in spite to spite Frieza that he has, one of those Saiyans. Like.
Yeah, exactly. That he was able to tame one of those Saiyan beasts and stuff.
Yeah.
The Somewhere Man. What if the Zenos developed individual personalities in a dualistic relationship similar to the Kais and GODs? Well,
am I right?
Yeah, it would certainly make it more interesting. I mean, seriously. I remember one theory that I had back in the day was like, oh, that future Zeno basically absorbed some of Zamasu's ki, or like some of Zamasu's essence, and was slowly being corrupted. And then you would have the return of Zamasu.
Especially that they had like different dominant hands, which like
Yes.
felt like a clue, like that felt like a narrative clue at this point.
I remembered Hab and I briefly talked about that, but it's a shame that didn't go anywhere. That would have been a really interesting little nod. Never wanted to go. Yeah.
I think they had a lot of ideas with Zeno that didn't came into fruition. You know.
Yeah. Manifesto says Frieza's benevolent and powerfully peaceful ancestors originally created the Galactic Patrol millions of years ago, and it was something passed down. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Like maybe, you know, the changeling race was actually quite benevolent, and then just, you know, they had one bad mutation with King Cold, and basically they destroyed their benevolent creatures and became the superior being.
I mean, you know the thing that's really interesting about that is like it's kind of what's being hinted at in Xenoverse, that, you know, all the other, you know, Frieza, oh no, we are not normally like that, like Frieza and Cold are different. Of course, it's Xenoverse, so again, you don't know how much of it can trust, but basically in Xenoverse lore, like they are considered to be oddity not only by being mutants but also by being pretty, you know, pretty crappy people overall.
No, of course. Red Dragon Force 2 says Augustus says to name your potential son after your father. I don't think he wouldn't be that. It'd be so unoriginal. He wouldn't do that, and I don't think he would want to. He would say that he wouldn't want to burden any son of mine with a name like that. And besides, we kind of want to go for a name that's a bit more original. But nice idea, Augustus, but I don't think we'll be going with that, I'm afraid. Connor Moffat, what if Chi-Chi trained like Goku and became a Z fighter, and when Gohan meets Videl, Chi-Chi also trains her, plus Gohan would keep training as well? This is quite a common thing, and I think in a future What If FAQ, we are going to be actually answering that. But so we'll keep our cards close to our chest for now, but at the moment, let's just say that marriage would be far more harmonious. That's for sure. Manifesto, what are your favorite DB-related memes? In terms of the memes,
I can start because I have a lot of those. Big Green Dab as a meme, Gohan, Blanco, and El Hermano, and all, and I'm kind of a sucker for Ultra Instinct Shaggy, you know.
Oh, of course, I would have to go with Ultra Instinct Shaggy, to be honest, as well, because it's so good, and it's just so different, and it gives Shaggy such a different personality. And Timebreaker Yamcha.
Yeah.
Like that one. He just gets so resentful and then he gets all that powerful and it's just like scary, crazy.
Also, I want to relate it to the name of the virus and certain GOD. Certain wordplay. Also
Yeah. Red Dragon Force 2 on behalf of Karan Sinai. Karan Sinai. What if King Vegeta acknowledged Broly and sent him to Yardrat for mental training? Either that or a meteor shower knocks Broly's pod there. Well, if King Vegeta decided to send him to Yardrat for mental training, it would be a very big admission that he acknowledged the Yardrats were useful. But if it did, as we said in our What If Broly was in the Android Saga series, then basically he would become very, very useful and very, very powerful, and he would be able to at least control it, so that means he'd be stable in terms of his mind. So I feel like it would definitely be useful. I feel like it would be a very wise decision for them to do that.
Yeah, with his like coldy manner, like Broly is the perfect like monk type of a person.
Definitely. Okay, Darth Samuel. Not a what if. Just want your opinion on your favorite Goku version that you've written. Probably what if Goku was female, to be honest, because I just love that idea that despite changing the sex of that character, it changes it in a way, but also doesn't change it in a way. Just having that camaraderie with the human characters is really, really interesting and really, really fun. So I actually quite like that version. And I can't wait if we ever do like a skit with female Goku, that we would have Jenna, who voices our Goten, voicing female Goku. So that I would actually be really looking forward to doing that if we ever do it. Yeah. Knight Raider, what if GT Goku showed up in the Super timeline by a multiverse theory? Well, if it was Kid Goku, then I feel like maybe it might be a really good way for the Super Goku to actually then realize how much of a kid he's acting. Strangely. Sense of perspective, maybe. It might make him grow up a bit. Because that writing for Super and Goku, not so good.
We are not big fans, spoilers.
Nah, yeah, it's mixed at the very best. Brendan Little, what if Vegeta hung around Earth after the Namek saga? It'd be interesting to see how he'd fare against that one group that I can't quite remember. What's his face, Junior and the Something Boys? So if Vegeta, well, no, but seriously, if Vegeta was there, he'd have kicked Garlic Junior, I think that's his name, into the stratosphere. Like, that's the thing. Vegeta was too powerful. So you needed to get him off Earth, like looking for Goku. So you needed to have him kind of like indisposed, doing something else. But if he were there, that would not be a it'd be a one episode situation. This mini.
Wait, was Roshi affected by Dark Water Mist?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like, that Kame House was.
I was thinking about Mafuba, because the easiest way to get rid of Garlic Jr. is Mafuba.
Yeah, if Mafuba was available, then Roshi would just do that. Team Valor, what incredible abilities would Tien ever possessed if he wasn't evil in the beginning of the Dragon Ball series? If you guys had covered this before, then I apologize for bringing this back up. Keep up the great work, you guys. Thanks, Valor. Well, in terms of his techniques, they are all inspired, except, I think, the Kikoho. I think the Kikoho is his. The Dodonrei is straight up Crane School.
Yeah.
And I feel like the martial arts thing he could have picked up on his own anyway.
I think he would look for a mentor because that's how martial arts work in this universe mostly.
They are very intrinsic to him.
Let's say he trained under Roshi, so probably he would probably easily incorporate some of the Turtle School stuff. I feel that he would utilize his third eye for the techniques and be maybe a little bit more physical and eye to hand coordination type of moves.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like he would certainly be a bit more technical, certainly. Okay, Spinner Breaker, DBZX Pokemon. What would be their starter Pokemon? Goku would have Chimchar.
Yeah. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Vegeta would have Snivy.
Snivy or Squirtle because Blastoise have guns, garlic guns.
Oh yes, because Vegeta with a Blastoise.
And I can imagine Vegeta with giant Max Blastoise or Mega.
Oh, and Crown says no. Vegeta would have Chaozu. The Nappa would have Chaozu.
No, Nappa would have Chaozu. That's for sure.
There you go.
Vegeta would start with Gumi because Slag Dragon. It's just too perfect. And Gohan would have Icarus.
Yeah, he would have Icarus. There you go. GK03. What if Super Saiyan 4 is the key to defeating Moro? Rather than key control, is pure brute force needed? Hit him really hard. Honestly, it would have been really, really fun if he basically, if Super Saiyan 4 ended up just being the thing, Moro was just going on and on and on about things, and then Super Saiyan 4 comes and then just wails on him. Just straight up wails on him. Moro keeps going on about, martial arts, I don't think much about martial arts, and then gets completely wailed. And then just Goku says, well, you know what they say, the original method is always best. That bit of satisfaction.
Yeah.
It would feel so cathartic, wouldn't it? Yeah. Chancellor, what if Vegeta, half beaten to death and unconscious while fleeing Earth, was found by the big Getester mid-flight? Metal Vegeta!
I think at this point, Vegeta was too weak for big Getester to be, noticed. Big Getester would just absorb him, but this wouldn't be, cooperation like with Cooler. I think at this point Vegeta too small fry to.
Yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, it is kind of like funny, just to potentially that.
And he's carrying, metal spikes.
No, basically his hair is metal spikes.
He would look like Vegeta crossed with Metal Sonic.
Yeah, right. And it came out around about the same time, and Super Sonic was like Super Saiyan, so combine the two. Just saying. Vulcan, what if Gohan was like Bardock? Thoughts? Well, you'd have had that rebellious thing. Gohan would have had this real fascination with red bandanas. And basically,
he would have a scar drawn with a like pen.
And whenever he irrationally basically saw Frieza at Namek, he would just shout, "Frieza! Frieza!" So, just all these moments. John Cordia, what if Future Trunks spared the androids by basically showing them who's more powerful? Could it change the Goku Black up substantially? Well, I think the thing is, though, after all that, if Future Trunks decided to have the fortitude to just let them go, and basically say, if I catch you doing it, killing anyone else, I will kill you. So if he had that, then I think that the androids would suddenly disappear. They would be very, very quiet.
Yeah, I think like they were too much gone to exactly go good, but they Goku Black would go for them first, because I think that mechanical abominations like cyborgs,
yes,
that would wrap him in a very wrong way.
You'd have just had that extra scene where 17 and 18 were polished off by Goku Black, pretty much.
Although now we know that 17 can train and get stronger in a relatively short amount of time. If they decided to train, that could bite Trunks in his butt.
That's fair. So if that happened, then things might have been different. Vulcan, what if... okay, we've got quite a few of these. What if Goku went to Barmpa instead of Yadra after Namek? He would have met Broly. It would have been an interesting and different kind of training, but it would have not probably been enough to get instant transmission. But it would have certainly been curious.
They would be stuck for a while. Paragus might have been less crazy at this point.
True. Yeah, been less crazy, a bit more rational. Was Paragus the commander of Bardock's team? I don't think so, because he had no recollection of Bardock or Goku in that sense. No connection. Paragus was just a mid-class general, pretty much of just the commander of just various Saiyans and stuff.
Yeah, and I think he lead the overall army in a bigger operation instead of those raiding squads, as it were. Because Bardock's squad, it always felt to me that there were those smaller raiding squads, and Paragus was just general army.
Yeah. Okay, and then what if Bardock raised Broly? If Bardock raised Broly, it would have been a very, very disastrous relationship, because Bardock does not have time. Even if they're strong, he's not a fatherly guy, and I feel like at least Paragus tried to have some kind of life with Broly. Made the best out of a bad situation, but still, it would have been a bit ooh, this would have been a bit hairy.
I mean, now I realized how much, your the whole bison thing fits for Bardock.
Yeah. And then Vulcan asks, the Nappa What If movie edition? Most likely, probably when we're done with the main timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back and do the movies. Axel Kasai, what if Oob was chaotic like Kid Buu? Well, Goku would have been stronger than he was against Kid Buu, so basically he would have just put pay to Oob immediately, and it would have made that entire idea of Goku wishing a reincarnation to existence a bit pointless and repetitive. I like the idea of Oob, a calmer version of Oob with the same power potential as Kid Buu. Yeah, it was interesting to see. So if we just got a carbon copy of Kid Buu only with a human skin, it would have been a bit anticlimactic and not a way you'd want to end Z.
Chaotic good though, chaotic good, a little bit erratic, if he grown up, to give him a bigger personality, to be much less predictable, but still a good guy, but a trickster, a jokester,
Okay. Okay, all right. I can see where you're going on that. All right, that's fair enough. And Vulcan, I know that I've asked this before, but what if Gohan was like Bardock and his twin sister Kuroda was like Ginyu? What is your favorite what if idea of mine? You've had so many Vulcan. But I suppose really it's just the idea of Goku having a twin sister, maybe.
Yeah.
That does have potential. But at the same time, with the whole Gohan like Bardock, again, it would just be like a more rebellious kind of person, very assertive in that sense.
Not very concerned about the familiar ties, you know, like he would probably try to leave home early and don't look back.
Yeah, yeah. And if Kuroda was like Ginyu, then very doting, very calm. And to be honest, as a human, pretty generic. You just described Kuroda as a nice girl. Nothing really like noteworthy. Not like Ginyu as being a nice Saiyan, which is a big deal.
Yeah, and also speaking of Gohan, like he might really develop, you know, a mentors to the bond with Vegeta.
Yeah. Knight Raider, what if Cooler had been exiled for being good compared to his family at least, and showed up during the Namek saga? Well, to me, I feel like he was sort of exiled, because I feel like Cooler, to me, it feels like King Cold thought that Cooler was too similar to himself. Like, a bit too, like, methodical, not very different enough to, like, deem worthy.
Maybe... Also, he was afraid of betrayal, which we know, like, yes. I think in Heroes, Cooler actually backstabs Cold and destroys him in one of the timelines.
Okay, well, there you go. So he just, maybe King Cooler was too good. So, I mean, Red Dragon, I feel like neutral evil is what he wanted, and he got that with Frieza. Cooler is lawful evil, too similar to King Cold. So I feel like that, and he's too smart. He's too smart for his own good, and King Cold doesn't like that. He wants to be superior. Okay, and Vulcan, what if Tien used Neo Tri-Beam and Kaioken against Semi-Perfect Cell? Well, if he did do that, he still would have lost, but it might have actually caused a decent bit of damage. But then again, with regeneration, Cell would have just immediately come back and recovered. So, unfortunately, in that case, what if Ranch was born a boy? Again, the whole thing about, you know, a different sex and gender, the idea of a good character is that it doesn't really matter, really. So if Ranch was a boy, Ranch would still act the same way as they do when Ranch is a girl, pretty much. And what if Goten was born a girl? Even more of a cinnamon bun. But again, different sex for a good character doesn't really matter. So I feel like Goku wouldn't really see much of a difference, because he actually doesn't see it that way.
She might be more overprotective over Goten if she was a girl.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that Goten might be more likely to defy her because she would want to train.
Yeah.
So merely, you know, like the difference would be cosmetic, merely based on you know, gender roles in the 80s.
Yeah.
More or less.
Okay. Jacked out. What if Goku was a Hera Seijin and so was Raditz? Well, basically, so a pirate dude. Well, they have transformations, and those transformations are actually quite substantial. Basically, Goku would be Big Green.
Yeah.
There you go. Goku
and
would just
Raditz would be even bigger.
Bigger Green. So there you go. So you get that.
Maximum Green.
Maximum over Green.
That's what Zalama probably.
And Team Valor was actually elaborating on the abilities of the three-eyed people that Tien belonged to. But it's hard to say whether they are an evolution of a form of an alien species and stuff. But I suppose
or
really
Tien is one of a kind mutation.
Yeah, maybe if he's just one of a kind, like just a random guy. But I feel like if he were, then he'd just basically just be like, he'd have greater perception, greater sense of analysis, vision, that sort of stuff. Basically, superhuman sight and superhuman perception. So, probably one of the best at sensing energy. In that sense. That wasn't a Saiyan. Probably. But, yeah. So, with that, we are done for today. I know this has been relatively short, but I've got to be places, and help out Philly with something. So basically, I thank you all for coming in for this short little impromptu super chat filled round table. We will be back on Thursday for another one, and we will also have the schedule coming out tomorrow. And yeah, I see a random Blackscape. Hello, Blackscape. And we shall continue with this very, very soon. And hope you're all doing really well. And again, thank you, Haverot, for joining me.
No worries.
And we shall all see you again very soon. So until then, guys, everybody, take care, and we shall see you very soon. Bye-bye.